The intruders belonged to Takamikazuchi, a guild boasting 5 A-rank hunters. While they were inferior to Kanan and her brother, they were still highly capable fighters. Leading them was Chojuro, one of the nation's finest lightning-type skill users. As they moved through the spaceship, one hunter laughed. "I wonder if there's anything valuable lying around here." Another grinned. "Let's turn this whole place upside down later." A third hunter added with a cruel smile, "Where's that woman?" It's not every day we get a target we can kill without consequences. Despite their abilities, Takamikazuchi's reputation was poor. Rumors claimed they often acted like bandits during monster subjugation quests, stealing rewards and abusing weaker hunters. Watching them through the monitors, Lady Anya smiled. "Oh my, what energetic little intruders." Standing nearby, Black Jane Doic glanced at her. "You let them in on purpose." With the dimensional transfer device active, there is no way people of their level could have infiltrated this ship on their own. Lady Annie nodded. "I simply thought I'd get a little exercise before the main event." Moments later, the hunters burst into the control room. The moment they entered, they saw Lady Annie calmly sitting in her chair. She slowly stood up and greeted them. "Welcome. You've come to defeat me, I presume." One of the hunters immediately recognized her. "So you're the mastermind behind all of this." Government intelligence had already identified her as the source of the invasion. The hunter studied her carefully. No matter how he looked at her, she didn't seem dangerous at all. Before he could finish thinking, Lady Annie raised her hand. A tiny fireball formed above her palm. The hunters immediately prepared for battle. Then she launched it. The fireball drifted toward them so slowly and weakly that one hunter blocked it with a tiny shield without even moving his feet. The room fell silent. Lady Annie sighed. "This isn't good, Black. To think I've practiced every day for 9,000 years." Black Jane replied flatly. "You are as talentless as ever." The hunters stared at her in disbelief. "You're weak as trash. Are you screwing with us?" Lady Annie shook her head. "There is no denying that I am weak. But I assure you, I am not screwing around." She smiled calmly. "I fully intend to win." For some reason, every hunter felt uneasy. The woman standing before them possessed almost no combat ability whatsoever, yet they felt intimidated. Lady Annie continued, "I have no talent, I lack power. I am completely unsuited for this." Then her smile widened. "Yet, I decided that I will win." The hunters could not understand why they felt pressured. One hunter thought, "What the hell is this? Why am I being intimidated by someone who's supposed to be powerless?" Lady Annie laughed. "If you're overwhelmed by someone like me, then your resolve simply isn't enough." A female hunter finally lost patience. "Don't look down on us." She rushed forward and attacked. Before she could reach Lady Annie, her head split apart. Blood sprayed across the room. The attack had come from Black Jane Doe's. The remaining hunters froze. Black Jane casually lowered her weapon. "Too bad for you." She pointed at Lady Annie. "Unlike that woman, whose only abnormal stat is her determination, my combat capabilities are actually quite high." She glanced at the corpses. "Though killing people at your level won't provide much EXP." Lady Annie calmly sipped her tea. "Please try not to damage the control room." The remaining hunters began trembling. Only now did they realize the true monster in the room wasn't Lady Annie. It was the silent woman standing beside her. Black Jane disappeared. The next moment, blood filled the room. The battle was over before it truly began. One by one, the hunters were slaughtered. Within moments, all 5 members of Takamikazuchi lay dead. A clone of ferret stared at the scene. Lady Annie took a sip of wine. My, I suppose I really can't be like those heroes." The clone replied, "Your true strength lies elsewhere, doesn't it, Lady Annie?" Lady Annie smiled. "I am well aware of that." She looked toward Black Jane. "Still, I can't help being envious." By the time she finished a single glass, Black Jane had already eliminated every intruder. "Nicely done. Did you gain any EXP?" Black Jane shrugged. "Some, I suppose, but an amount this small isn't even worth mentioning." Lady Annie nodded. "Now then, off you go." A smile appeared on her face. "You are the final one." The hero with the most hero-like ability. Without another word, Black Jane vanished from the spaceship. Back on the battlefield, Akari had reverted from her dragon form to her normal appearance. She sighed. Fully recovering and returning to my first form after 2 consecutive battles is an ability I'm not particularly fond of. Then she sensed something approaching. A powerful presence, far stronger than the heroes who had come before. Akari looked toward the sky. Color me surprised. She could feel it even from a great distance. This one is the strongest. And by an overwhelming margin. A figure landed before her. It was Black Jane Doe, hero of Dimension 99. Black looked at Akari and smirked. Hand over your EXP. I've been looking for something worthwhile to level up on. Inside the spaceship, Lady Annie watched the battlefield through her monitors. By using the dimensional transporter, she had merged this world with another dimension and brought its strongest hero here. That hero was Black Jane Doe. In her original world, otherworldly invaders constantly appeared, bringing monsters, demons, and powerful bosses with them. Black had originally been nothing more than a bottom-tier eraser. But one day, she obtained a legendary ability found only in stories, infinite level up. From that moment onward, she fought endlessly, growing stronger with every battle. She continued leveling up, defeating stronger and stronger enemies until she eventually saved her world. By the time peace was achieved, Black had reached an absurd level of power. She had become the ultimate hero. A monster who had leveled up far too many times. Lady Annie smiled as she watched. I'll be enjoying this battle from the best seat in the house, my dear demon lord and my hero. On the battlefield, Akari looked up at Black. Come on now, don't just stand up there, get down here already. The next moment, Black was suddenly standing behind her. Even Akari was surprised. She immediately turned around. That wasn't speed, teleportation I assume. Black nodded. An ability I obtained at level 30. Akari smiled. So you possess a power that allows you to level up like the games in this world. How wonderful. She continued. If your levels are truly infinite, then one day you may even surpass me. Black shook her head. It doesn't work quite that simply. The required EXP increases with every level. Then she smiled. But you look like you're worth a lot of EXP. Without warning, Black attacked. Akari dodged. The attack missed her, but the shockwave pierced through multiple buildings behind her. Seeing the power of that strike, Akari's smile widened. She immediately activated her summoning ability. A massive magic circle appeared beneath her, and countless monsters emerged from it. Go. The monsters rushed toward Black. Black simply raised her hand. Living dead losers. A dark aura spread across the battlefield. Behind her, countless zombie monsters appeared. Akari looked at them curiously. What is this? Black answered casually. It turns enemies I've killed into undead servants. An ability I unlocked at level 52. She pointed forward. Go. The two armies collided. Akari's monsters were quickly overwhelmed. One after another, they were killed and converted into Black's undead army. Soon, the zombie monsters turned and charged toward Akari herself. Akari responded by launching several fireballs, wiping out the undead forces in a massive explosion. However, Black had already disappeared. Emerging from the smoke, she appeared directly in front of Akari. So this is all your first form amounts to. Akari instantly erected a barrier, but Black drew her blade, Satan's Saber. The sword cut straight through the barrier. Then it sliced Akari's body in half. Black calmly explained, this skill ignores defenses and directly cuts the target. I unlocked it at level 100. She looked at the defeated first form and added, it seems level 100 is enough to clear this stage. Akari's body began transforming. Instead of being upset, she smiled with excitement. Is that so? Then by all means, let's find out what level you'll need for the next one. Darkness erupted from her body. The surrounding space trembled. Akari activated her second form. The darkness itself seemed ready to shatter. Akari looked at Black and smiled. Black stared back at her and said, I'm surprised. Akari tilted her head. By what? Black replied, the EXP. I only defeated your first form, but the amount of EXP I gained was over 1,000 times greater than defeating a level 100 enemy in my world. A grin appeared on her face. At this rate, you might actually be the one who pushes me to an even higher level." Akari laughed. "I see. Glad to hear it." The next instant, Akari vanished and appeared directly in front of Black. "By all means, please do, champion of infinite growth." Black's eyes widened. Akari swung a kick. "Come on, don't look so shocked. I'm the final boss after all. I can easily deal with a handful of abilities like yours." But Black calmly raised her hand and stopped the kick. Akari's eyes narrowed. "Oh-ho, naturally your base stats have increased along with your level." Black immediately jumped back and created some distance. Akari smiled. "What's this?" I could tell from that exchange. "With your current stats, my second form should be an easy victory for you, shouldn't it?" Black raised her hand. "Medusa Needle. I learned this skill at level 129. Several thin needles shot toward Akari and connected with her body. Akari looked down at them before laughing. Tiny needles with a paralysis effect. Dark mana surged around her. Against dark mana equipped with trait nullification, they're nothing more than a massage. She immediately cast Fireball and launched it toward Black. The explosion engulfed the area. Yet Black never moved. When the smoke cleared, she was still standing in the exact same spot. Akari narrowed her eyes. "You should be strong enough that you don't even need to test things like that." Black nodded. "Of course, but you're dangerous prey. I wanted to determine the priority level of your nullification ability." She pointed at the needles. "Medusa Needle ignores resistance and forcibly inflicts paralysis. In my world, I could briefly paralyze even the final boss Lucifer. But your dark mana completely erased the effect." Without hesitation, she continued. "That means your nullification ability takes priority over powers that surpass even gods." Akari burst out laughing. "If it were a god, I would have smashed it to pieces the moment I was born." For the first time, Akari felt genuine excitement. This woman possessed tremendous power. Yet, unlike the others, she remained calm and analytical. She had clearly survived countless deadly battlefields. Akari smiled. "So what will you do now?" Black raised her gun. "It's not a problem. I still have plenty of ways to strengthen myself." Then she fired. At the same time, Akari launched her own attack. The two powers collided. For a moment, the battlefield trembled. Then Black's attack completely overwhelmed Akari's. The blast struck her directly. The darkness surrounding Akari shattered. Her second form was defeated. Akari emerged from the smoke laughing. "Well then, let's move on to the third form." Dark flowers bloomed across her body as she transformed. The battlefield was instantly covered by countless flower buds. Akari smiled. "What level are you going to use next?" A Black answered by summoning her undead army. Hundreds of zombie monsters appeared around her. "Go." The undead rushed toward Akari. Akari looked at the approaching horde and laughed. This form excels at dealing with large groups. The flower buds around her suddenly opened. Dark energy gathered inside every bloom. Perish. Genocide burst. Countless beams erupted across the battlefield. The undead army was instantly swallowed by the attack.